we're at the Sanctuary Palms Golf Course today.
No, we're not.
Oh, Sanctuary Cove.
Sanctuary Cove.
Jesus.
Pines course.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Cards. I'm Nick Steiner, and this is Richard Woodhouse. Today, we're at the Pines at Sanctuary Cove. Let's get out there.
Let's do it.
All right, Richard, what hole are we out at today?
This is the 11th at the Pines, par 5. We got a little, it's a pretty strong hole. We got to take it down the left-hand side, avoid the water down the right. Just let it rip, really.
Let it rip. So first shot of the day, haven't hit the range. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's just like riding a bike, isn't it, Nick? What can go wrong?
Straight out of the car.
Straight down the left. There you go.
Absolute ball. Great drive, Richard.
Not bad for the first one today.
Not bad for the first one of the day.
Beginner's luck.
So the whole point of this Coffee and Cards is really to give people a chance to kind of get to know you and the players and coaches that are out there.
Yeah, great.
Let's just kick it off with, how did your journey start in golf, and where did it really begin to progress for you into knowing that you wanted to take it further?
Yeah, I guess it was kind of late comparison to a lot of the athletes I deal with now. I was probably 13 when I started through school, and then I guess family dynamics as well. Some of my family play golf, and but ultimately I just love the game from early on, and I'm competitive. So this sort of game is right up my alley.
And when did you really start to become in love with it so much that, hey, this is something I feel like I can teach others? A lot of pros, their careers might end and they just kind of progress into that, but I feel like you kind of had the bug maybe a little bit earlier on of, I really want to help other people.
Yeah, I definitely did. Obviously I love playing, that's first and foremost, and when you're an amateur, everything wants to be, I want to play on tour, I want to play for a living, but very quickly, once I was a PGA member, I started to love coaching and love helping other people, and I guess that's what it boils down to even to this day. It's just, I just love helping people, love seeing people improve and being part of their journey. So very quickly I transitioned to coaching from when I was around about 22 and 21, 22, and haven't looked back since, really. You know what, Nick, we're right about here. We're actually a little further than what I expected. We've got about 320 yards back to that pin. So, we're looking at 280 meters or so. So basically I'm gonna hit a little layup shot. I'm gonna take a 7-iron down just over the corner over here, and that should leave us a pretty nice shot back in.
Yeah, and thinking about that, it's really, you just want to have that full shot in, right?
Yeah, it is, and it's back it's back into the breeze. I know there's water running in front of that green, so it'll be a strong cover to get it there. So let's just get it in play, and I think we'll try and make birdie the hard way, the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, nice. A little bit of a rethink. Never be afraid
we're just
to
gonna
go.
6. I was gonna take it's just back into that breeze a little more than I originally felt.
Don't be afraid to go back, folks. Don't be afraid.
Just
to go
rethink it. Be confident what you want to do, right? Don't stand over that shot second guessing. So there's a nice little angle in, Nick.
Now, we were talking a little bit about the kids and just the languages and the conversation. KDV being an international facility, I'm sure that brings in quite a few challenges there as well too, but also a lot of great learnings from different cultures and different kids and what their backgrounds and upbringings might be. How does that play into things nowadays?
Yeah, KDV is a wonderful facility. It's set up to bring in students from overseas. We've got the hotel on site, and we've got obviously the learning center and the range and the short game facilities, etc. So I guess it's all encompassing. We like to look at a really holistic way of coaching, whereby the players come in, we work on what their body's doing, work on their technique, work on their mental game, the whole lot. Yeah. So it's a perfect facility for the international students coming in.
Yeah, and it is. And I do want to say shout out to the elite at KDV. They're putting me up this week. I couldn't be more grateful for that. And thank you to them. It's an amazing place, and hopefully we'll get some clips in here to show you guys that as well. Yeah,
no, great hotel and great for the students. Yeah, and everyone alike, really.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's check out this little chip and putt we got. Now, yesterday I had the pleasure of getting a chance to hang out with you and some of your students, and this shot that we have come up here is a perfect example of something that we were talking about, and it was really just thinking about what your flight's going to be, thinking about what your club choice is, and where you really want to land that ball and how you want it to release.
When looking at these shots, we down there, we'll go and assess that lie and we'll have a look at it, but I really like to look at what sort of flight to run ratio we have, what the lie is going to do to the golf ball. We can already see it's a pretty flat lie down here. I've got quite a lot of green to work with, so you know, I'm going to look to land this in this flatter area up in here. It'll check and react, and hopefully we should leave ourselves a pretty straightforward putt. But yeah, I guess process, decision making, but more importantly, really assessing this lie, see what it can do for us.
Yeah, nice. Now, I'm not sure you know, but here in Coffee and Cards, there's no edits. So this chip and putt is going to be what it is. So let's see how you finish up the hole. No pressure.
No pressure?
Plenty of students are watching. Nice. Did that release kind of the way you wanted it to?
Yeah, probably landed into the upslope, to be honest. It actually pulled up pretty quickly. Another yard would have been ideal.
You want to touch a little bit on what you're doing there with your feet and arms,
yeah.
kind of what you're feeling and seeing right now?
Yeah, I aim point green read, Nick. So aim points whereby you feel the slope with your feet and then attach the slope to a value of percentage. And then using your fingers, you can actually then work out how far the ball's going to break. So I felt this one reading is what I'd call a strong one, so just over 1% of break. I'm reading this at around about, for a term, half a cup outside that right edge.
Okay. Oh, so close. Tap her and finish her up. Nice. Kind of going to the sun. So
yeah, we got about 202 yards to the flag.
Oh, absolute ball. Can't see a thing. I might be blind. Oh, pin high, I believe.
Yeah, maybe a little left of the flag?
Maybe a little left. We'll have to check it out.
We'll check it out.
You know, getting back into, just talking about, abundance, mental health, a lot of the things that you and I talked about, and really probably what developed our relationship when I first came to you as a bit of a chopper that I am, but that's all right.
We got there, yeah.
We've worked on some of that. Is what are some of the biggest mental challenges that not only maybe the kids are dealing with, but the professionals are dealing with as well too?
Yeah, I think, you've got their own expectations on themselves, and then you've got, I guess, the external expectations or pressures as well, whether that be through parents, whether that be through financial reasons, relationships, etc. So I guess they're dealing with those all the time, and then understanding their self-worth off the golf course as well. So a lot of these full-time players just identify as golfers, and then from that point of view, we need to find balance in their life as well. So ultimately, from when I'm working with players, it's going, okay, what are we doing when we're not playing golf? And the progress isn't linear either. Like, you're not just going to continue improving the same amount every single day, right? So there's going to be times where you spike and then you decline a little bit for many reasons, whether it be through you get injured or you get sick or you get stuff coming up in your life. So it's understanding that there are going to be times through your development where it does drop off. And when it drops off, that's where you do need the support networks of coaches and parents. And I guess if you're on the tour, then it's going to be more so like managers and friends as well. So
yeah, definitely very interesting. It's always something that, like we talked about, there's 6 inches between the ears back there.
That's it.
And it's such a huge thing, and it's something that you and I definitely have done our own personal journey and work because of things that we've probably had happen in our lives to guide us in that direction as well too. So
you got it.
If you need some help out there, always just again ask a friend, check in with people. That mental side of everything is super important, and be realistic with your own expectations for sure.
That's 100% right.
All right, well, let's get out here and hit some more shots.
All right. Yeah, so this feels like a little lower on this side, so I felt the early part of the putt's going to move to the right, just a little, not much. And then now it starts swinging. So there's a lot of break in this bottom half of the putt.
And a lot of that you can see, but like we were talking with the aim points, when you feel it as well.
Yeah, it's just walking the putt, like I think one thing we can trust is what we feel versus what we see. Sometimes what we see is distorted, whether it be through the shape of the fringe or it could be anything in the background. So now I know this part's going to slightly go to the right at the start, but then as it gathers speed, it's going to go left a long way. So I'm going to play this outside the right.
Good. And for those watching at home, that is not a clubhouse. That's actually someone's house.
That's your place, isn't it?
Yeah, that is my future place. Visualization.
Yeah, you got it.
Let's imagine.
See it and believe it.
See it and believe it. Oh, yeah. Oh!
I swung a good 20 feet.
So coming back to that aim point,
Yeah.
well known that, you know, you're an instructor for it. Where can people find out more information about aim point, or where exactly does it even originate from?
Mark Sweeney was the originator of aim point, or who actually invented it, and it's based off, as we said, how we feel slope. And I guess you can find aim point instructors all around the world. There's a few of us here in Australia who are qualified in it. And as mentioned earlier, Nick, normally we would calibrate ourselves before coming out here relative to the green speed. But ultimately here, we can feel this putt's very flat. So if it feels flat, it's a straight putt.
Straight in.
Yeah, it takes away that guesswork, right?
Like, boom, nice.
2 putt from up the top there's okay. I'll take that.
Man, I'd take that any day of the week.
But yeah, aim point's good, right? So that putt there that was up the slope, you know, all I had to do was feel it. There was no slope, there was no break there. I felt there was no break, and then you can just trust yourself and hit it the hole. So it takes away that the top 6 inches getting in the way of the putt.
Yeah, oh man, that gets in the way more than anything.
That's it.
Now, folks, here's a little bit of putter porn for you. Oh, geez.
Yeah, that's the SSS 009M. So it's I got the guys to build that for me. It's just the shape that I've always putted with. And the SSS surgical stainless steel, so it's yeah, just a beautiful soft feel. And Scotty Cameron, he makes the best putters going around, that's for sure. So
now, what difference does a putter really make to someone? And when you're working with your players, how often do you get them to switch or change? Or
yeah, we definitely like getting the right putter in your hands is critical. I mean, there's a combination. We do fit putters as a coach. We want the putter to fit the player's stroke tendencies. So we might do some work, whether it be through TrackMan putting or Sam Putt Lab or Science of Motion Putt Lab, and find out whether the play is suited to more toe flow, more face balance. But then you've also got the aspects of how we line up. So I like the single line on the back of the putter. I don't like anything on the top line.
Yeah.
So there's a little personal preference. Then obviously the material in respects to what the player gets feedback from the club face. So there's a bunch that goes into putter fitting and getting the right putter, obviously length and lie and obviously the weight as well.
which hole are we at now, Richard?
This is the 14th. It's a par 4, a little bit shorter hole, but I mean, again, we're faced back into the breeze again on this hole. You run out of room up there, so we're gonna probably try and cut up a 3-wood so we don't run it through the fairway. I have to get moving a little left to right. Should leave us a nice shot into the green from back there.
And not only that, but there's a kangaroo directly in front of you.
That's it. I think he's safe. Hopefully he's safe.
Hopefully he's safe, but anyone watching this video, tag a friend that would definitely hit this kangaroo.
He looks pretty relaxed, right?
He looks pretty relaxed. I think he knows what he's got in front of him here.
That's it.
If not, we've got a definite viral video.
You haven't had kangaroo this week?
I don't want to make this a viral video. I mean, I do, but not in that way. No animals were harmed in the filming. Oh, great ball. And just chilling. Look at that, folks. Not a care in the world. Relaxing on a Friday afternoon. There we go. Later, Skippy. Now, we've taken a few shots out here today. When it comes to the golf swing, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that, I mean, I know I probably have a few.
Oh man, where do we start? Yeah, it's, you know what, the misconception starts with whose conception is it? Like, concepts are all products of, I guess, what one player thinks, and then what you think, you're gonna give that information to another player. I think it's important to understand your own golf swing and understand your matchups in your own golf swing.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I guess I'd see a lot of, with amateur golfers is an underappreciation of what the club face is doing through the golf swing and how then we react as humans to what their club face does. So a lot of the time, I'll hear players talk about what they're doing with their body and so forth, which is great, but if we have no awareness on where the club face is through the golf swing, we're going to react dramatically to that. So I think gaining some good understanding of what does the club face do through the golf shot, golf swing, how does that match in with what the body and the arms do? And once we get some good concepts, we can build on that. But I mean, there's hundreds of bad concepts out there. Keep your eye on the ball, Nick. That's what, keep your left arm straight. Keep your head down. That's right.
Keep your head down.
Yeah.
Now that's probably the biggest one, right?
I think it's the one when players at a bad shot, like it's just keep your head down. It's like, well, no, that's probably not going to help a lot, So, but yeah, definitely. I think one that I hear a lot of is early extension. Yeah. You hear that all the time. Oh, I early extend, or it's a bit of a fad word, and a lot of the time it's just...
Is that where casting or that kind of comes
casting, early extension, like they're just things that sometimes a lot of people just don't do, and understanding why they happen is the big thing. So seeking some advice from a coach and understanding your swing is the first thing. And
that's probably the biggest thing is get lessons, guys. I mean, no matter who it's from, it's so important. It's I mean, I have friends or might be my girlfriend. She'd be like, "Can you teach me or show me?" No. No. Every time I'm like, "Go get a lesson."
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, any tip that I'm going to give you just probably isn't right for the way you're built for or what your even own swing is.
Yeah, well, you know your swing, right? But you know your body moves different to your girlfriend's, right? So it's understanding how you move and developing concepts around what you can do and making yourself better. But yeah, gaining good advice is the first step, and not listening to your playing partners is step number 2.
Well, let's talk through this next shot here that we got into a pretty tasty little pin in the center of the green.
Yeah, I like it. Let's do this. Yeah, we had a little 9-iron. I was going to go take it down to 8, but we're going to take 9-iron, bring it in with a little bit of draw, just off that center right side of the green. Bit of breeze up there now, though, late in the afternoon. Stayed out there.
Yep. Come over. Just give it a little tap in.
Tap in.
Nice par. Now moving on from, misconceptions that we were talking about a little bit ago, what's one thing or one lesson that you'd pass on to anybody watching this video? What's one takeaway that you'd really like to see?
You know what? I think what holds rounds of golf together is process and routine.
Yeah.
So no matter what you're working on with your coach or for a term like your understanding of your golf game, having a process that you use before you hit the golf shot, and then a post-shot routine, what you do after you hit the golf shot, is what I would describe as probably the one missing link that a lot of golfers probably don't train enough. And that way, the reason I like pre-shot and post-shot routines is you get to assess the shot you want to hit, you get to set a plan, you then get to reflect and observe on what the actual outcome did. So it's a learning opportunity, right?
Yeah.
A lot of golfers might just hit a shot, have an emotional reaction, and then not really understand why the shot happened.
Yeah.
So gluing together your routines is important. This is the 16th hole at the Pines. We're a par 3. It's playing 160 yards. So I guess in terms of like a process with this shot, so we're thinking the pin's at the back, wind's a little off the left, 160 yards. So I'm going to play a little knockdown 8-iron into this shot here, and actually try to take a little bit of the flight off it, land it somewhat short of the green, and let it filter up to the back. So seeing the plan is the first thing, and then from there we can now start our process.
Yep.
Sometimes what I'll do, and a lot of the time for the golfers who play in carts, often they'll jump up to the tee box with just one club in their hand. I might bring 2 up here. I'm just going to feel what the wind's doing while I'm up here. So it does feel like initially, it's definitely a little down. So I'm actually going to go back to a 9-iron. It's just good. I've got enough club here where it's going to be flying that front trap and then stopping by the time that flag gets there. So this is now where I visualize it. I can see it going over the front left part of that trap. It's going to be a stock flight. I'm not going to try to bring it down nor hit it up. I feel what I want to do, so my swing before the shot, just a feeling of what I want to have in my golf swing. The last thing I always do, Nick, before walking in is I pick my intermediate start line.
Is that start line just out in front of the ball?
Yeah, it's about a yard in front, so about 2 feet, 2.5, 3 feet in front of me.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Center of the green.
center of the green, yeah. So that's after the shot, I typically observe what happened, what did it feel like, how did it fly. I probably started a little left of my intended line. I shut it down a touch, but you know what? I gave myself enough golf club to hit it to the middle of the green, and so it should be pretty good. So yeah, just setting a plan first is the first step. That's the biggest thing I could say. If you have a plan before you hit the shot, then you can commit to it and trust it. If you don't have a plan, you might stand over that golf ball with second guessing yourself.
Yeah, and you can't get too mad at yourself if you don't have the plan.
Exactly right, yeah. I mean, I guess practice time is different for everyone. It comes down to what your time availability is.
Yeah.
But I guess my biggest thing is make the most of your time. So if you had half an hour a week or if you had 10 hours a week, how are you using that? How are you actually using that time? And I guess having the drills to do, but also, you know, one thing I'm pretty big on is looking at different phases of practice as well. So you've got working on your golf swing or whatever part of the game is you're doing from a technical perspective. Yeah. But then transition that into more variation. So start picking different targets, different clubs, different shots, whether it be high, low, or fades, draws, whatever it may be. Incorporate some routine in, and then before you leave the range, before you leave your practice facility, get competitive with yourself. Yeah. So once you've done your practice, you've gone from learning the skill to training it with routine, but then you put it under a bit of pressure with your competition phase. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, so if you can do that, then you're ready for your game on the weekend, right? So a lot of the time, a lot of golfers just go to the range and just hit balls, and really, is that truly practicing, or is it just hitting balls?
No, I mean, as someone who's probably done that quite a bit, it can get monotonous, right? And that's the thing, is you got to break that up and make games with yourself, make it a little bit more fun. And I'm a big person where I just kind of time block, right? So 30 minutes, I'm going to focus on this. I have an hour today, and the second 30 minutes, I'm going to have a bit more fun. I'm maybe going to act like I'm playing some holes where I go driver, iron, wedge, or different things like that to different targets is my personal thing, but it may not be everyone else's out there, but that's something I try to do myself. Shout out to the pines at Sanctuary Cove. One of our last holes of the day, center of the green like we talked about. I think you can hold this one.
Good chance. It's on that left edge, I think, Nick. Let it just move a little right.
Oh, so close. What do you say we play one more?
One more hole?
One more hole.
Yeah, let's do it. We've got plenty of time.
Last hole of the day.
Let's do it.
Par 17. Or par 17.
Par 17? I hope I take less than that.
Yeah. Last hole of the day, par 5. How often do you get to play?
Nowhere near often enough. It has actually been one of the things that I do want to actually start doing a lot more of, is making time just to come and play and enjoy the game for what it is, really. I mean, all of my time is spent working with other people and helping others, so it's definitely something that I'm working on myself, actually making more time to come and play. So yeah, ideally at least 9 holes a week is probably realistic, and then when I get some extended time off, obviously love to play golf with my wife and other friends as well.
Yeah, she's a bit of a player too, eh?
She can play, yeah, she definitely can play. Yeah, I'm just gonna lay this one back up. It's back in the wind a lot, so we're gonna take 4 iron, somewhat over that corner, over the corner of the trap, and and hopefully leave ourselves around about 100, 120 yards back in, given that angle.
For those at home or watching on their phone, you can see the pin is just out over the water there to the right. Oh, exactly where you said. Not much room over there.
No, that should be okay.
Yeah, good. Great shot, Richard. I think one other thing I just kind of wanted to touch on today before we end is really how our journey started, where we've actually gotten to today, and how that kind of developed. I've shared my side of the story playing time with folks at home, but it actually started a little bit earlier before I came on and what the product actually was. Do you want to just talk to me a little bit about when you guys came up with the mirror, how it kind of came to fruition, and
yeah, for sure,
what you thought when we met each other on how it worked out for you to say, you know what, Nick, you have our blessing, go ahead and take this thing and run.
Yeah, I mean, myself and Grant, when we first started working with this mirror, ultimately what it was just a product that was needed whereby players could get feedback with their path to face relationship. Yep. And building off the path arc that we have on that mirror, I think it's a product whereby now a lot of players can relate to it really from a visual perspective. Yeah. It offers great feedback, and obviously in the early days the product was by nowhere near the quality that it is right now, and with the additions you've made and the manufacturing that it goes through now, it's a world-class product, and one that we're seeing now on major tours around the world, and I guess a lot of the best amateurs in the world are using it. But it's a great product whereby it doesn't matter if you're a tour player or an amateur golfer, you're going to get great feedback either way.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, right? If you guys go ahead and check out the reviews of the Pro Path putting mirror. Didn't want to talk about that a ton today because really want people to get a chance to know you, but I really think it is important that we touch on that. And I just want to thank you guys for entrusting me to taking that and running with it. And it's pretty cool on my side to know that I'll never be on a professional tour, maybe the senior, possibly.
You never know.
But to see my products and our products being used on tours across the world is pretty special.
It is, yeah. It's a good feeling when you see the players using it and leaning on it and actually giving some thanks to it for actually their putting success. But it's cool to see out there for sure.
Yeah, nice. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for supporting us. Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, let's kind of finish it up here as we take this next shot.
Perfect.
A little bit of waterfowl in front of us.
Hopefully that's not an issue.
The kangaroos told them they're safe.
That's it.
There we go.
There you go.
Good shot.
Thank you.
With the leaning flag. Oh! And then it drops.
It's a good way to finish the day.
Good way to finish the day. Nice birdie, mate.
Thank you.
Bam. All right, Richard, nice birdie there at the end of the day. It's been an awesome day getting a chance to hang out with you, and hopefully the viewers at home really learned a little bit about yourself and those sort of things.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, just being out here playing is just a perfect way to finish the afternoon off, and just relaxing and enjoying golf for what it should be, right? It's an enjoyable game. It's what we grew up doing, loving, and it's turned into a job. But like, this is just, I'm so passionate about this game. I just love it to pieces. And being out here is just pretty cool.
I love it as well. We all love it. And hopefully our community loved this video that we're able to share today, guys. Remember to like, share, comment. Comments are going to be big things, especially with us getting this series started. And the big one, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us for another episode of Coffee and Cards. Can't wait to bring you guys the next one. Thanks, Richard.
Thanks, Nate.